you might want to create some very exciting and cool looking text that have a very neat looking typeface to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the word astrocytes and add what looks like astrocytes within the typeface. So I'm going to click over to the type tool and click on the screen, and then I'm going to type in astrocytes. Okay. And I'm just using the Berlin Sans FB bold, just kind of look to see what kind of typeface that you want. You can change it later, so don't feel committed just yet. And go down to 72. I'm actually going to go up to 90 to make it even larger. I'm going to make it center aligned because I know I'm going to align it in the center of the artboard. And then I'm going to go down to the alignment menu, and I'm going to make sure this says align to the artboard, and I'm going to click center. So now it's in the center of this piece of paper. And then now I want to create the actual typeface where it looks like there's a whole bunch of astrocytes within these letters. Okay, so to start, I'm going to create a polygon because I'm going to create a swatch, what's a swatch is over here, so kind of like a color, but I'm going to make it my own custom color, and then the color is actually going to be a pattern of an astrocyte, and I'm going to use it as I'm going to have a hexagonal repeat pattern. I'll explain that later. So right now, just trust me that you're going to want to use a hexagon shape, and I don't know, maybe a light brown. Okay. And then I'm going to zoom in, and I want to draw an astrocyte in here. So I'm going to switch over to the round or the ellipse tool. And I'm going to create a circle by holding the shift key. I'm going to change the color to a little darker, so something like this. We can, well, maybe leave it a little darker than that. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to click away, and now I'm going to draw the processes, and let me actually center these objects. Okay, so now I have this the cell body in the center, and again, this is an astrocyte, so I'm going to use, and astrocytes have a whole bunch of processes leaving it, so I'm going to draw a line this way, and I'm going to add the darker tool there, and then I'm going to move down to 0.5 maybe. Okay, so now you might find that if I draw another line, it changed that previous line that I drew, and I want to draw some branches off of this line. To do that, I'm going to click the direct selection tool, and then I'm going to click the pencil tool. And what that allows, because I clicked on the direct selection and then clicked on the pencil, what that allows me to do is hold the control button and switch to my previously selected tool. So I'm in the pencil mode, now I'm in the direct selection tool. So I'm going to hold the control button and then click on the screen. So now I click away from that previous object, and then now I can draw a branch. Hold control, click on the screen. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a little object there. And if you draw it far, the line far enough, it will not think that you're trying to edit the previous line, so you're safe. So again, that's hold the control, click away, and try to click on a part of the screen that you can't see. And then so this is a nice feature. Notice that I didn't quite join that up properly, so I can hold the control, click back on this object, and then redraw that line, and it fixes it for me. And then I can click over here, and then I can redraw that line, and it fixes it for me there. So it's a really nice feature to have that control button ready to go, or that direct selection tool ready to go. Okay, so that looks good. So now what we want to do is we want to add this to as a swatch. So we want to click over here to swatches. I want to highlight these objects, and I'm going to drag it over, I'm going to drag it over there till you see that plus sign and that little blue box around the swatches. Okay, so you can see that it's right there. I added it. And so now I'm going to double click on it. Wait, first, let me exit out of this before Control Z. So notice I modified the previous objects because I had them selected. So it's going to add that swatch. I don't want to do that. I want to click away. So after I added it to this menu, I'm going to click away anywhere on the screen so that I unselect that previous object. So now I'm going to click on this. I'm going to double click on the swatch. So now I have this repeat pattern. And what I want the brown to be joined up properly. So I'm going to click down on this menu, and I want to change how it's repeating. So now it's repeating by column. And notice that everything's flush, and you just say done. Okay. So I'm going to move over here and see how well this looks. So I'm going to click on this text object, and I'm just going to click on the new pattern swatch. And there you go. That is how I filled the text. And notice that it's still a text object. So I can go up here to say maybe I don't like the font, and I can change it to however I want. And it will keep whatever is filled. It will keep that pattern in there. And you can add any number of things to make this look however you want. Any number of patterns. That's the nice thing about the custom swatches is it works really nice.